Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eagle and this is Love Eagle. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a DIY tutorial on how I made this two-piece outfit. It's a bandeau top and a pencil skirt with stretchy fabric. I really loved and I was a little surprised that this came out like the way I pictured it in my mind. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this. It's very simple and it's very quick, but it's a little detailed. So like just be patient with me and stay with me a little. So I wanted to say that the skirt that I'm making for this video is very similar to the sequin skirt that I made very early on into my career as a YouTuber. I'm going to leave a link to that tutorial in the description box and somewhere up here. So feel free to watch that video if it'll help clear things up. But I kind of go over a very similar process here. So I just wanted to say that this is a two-piece. I don't know if you like two pieces as much as I do, but I like them because you can obviously wear them together and you can split them up and wear them as a bunch of different outfits. Without much ado, guys, let's get straight into this tutorial. I just wanted to remind you that if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, okay? It really helps my channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get first dibs on all my YouTube content. I really hope you guys like this video. So let's get straight into it. First of all, materials. What are we going to need to make this outfit?
So for this tutorial, you're going to need your main fabric, which should be a stretchy fabric. You're also going to need your lining fabric, which should also be stretchy. And then we're going to need a ruler and some measuring tape. We're also going to be using two different types of elastic. Technically speaking, you can use one type of elastic, but I use two. One, the thick one is a knit elastic. That's for the top. It's about 25 millimeters and you can pick it from any store, or I think I got this one off of Amazon. And for the woven elastic, that one is for the waistband. You're also going to need a pattern master or any kind of curved ruler, regular sewing supplies like pins and scissors, and finally we're going to need pattern paper. So let's start with the top, which is basically a rectangle that will go around your chest area. So all you need to do is take your bust measurement. So the bodice is the circumference of the entire bust area. It's basically just a rectangle that we're going to make into kind of tube. But for the back of mine, I wanted to attach 3 elastics as opposed to making it a full circle. I wanted to attach elastics at the back. So basically that means whatever length the elastic is supposed to be would have to be subtracted from the actual bodice, right? So that the full bodice would be a combination of the length of the elastic and the fabric itself, right? So for me, for example, my bust is about 33 inches and I wanted my elastic band to be about 6 inches long, which means if I subtract 6 inches from my bust, I'm going to have about 27 inches, right? That's, yeah, so my actual rectangle, so that means my actual bodice, if I remove the elastic, is going to be about 27 inches long and about 9 inches in width. So that's my tube. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out the I've cut out the rectangle like I wanted, and I'm doing the same for the main fabric as well as the lining fabric. Cut out your tube. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew the lining and the main fabric together, right sides facing each other. So just sew them, pin and sew them together. So after sewing the tube, I'm just going ahead and turning it right side out so you can see what it looks like. Next thing is to attach the 3 elastic bands that are going to be at the back of the outfit. I'm just folding the edge of the tube and inserting the elastic bands at the back and connecting them. So I'm just doing that, and I'm pinning and sewing over the fabric and the elastic together. Take as much time as you need. There's no need to rush this process because you want your work to come out looking as neat and as possible. So insert the elastic, pin it down, and then sew over it. So this is what the final result should end up looking like. at the front and back. And that's it. You have your top ready to wear. Now for the skirt. So I'm drafting the pattern on this regular brown paper that I got off of Amazon. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. So all you need to do is take your waist measurements and your hip measurements and I guess your skirt length, because you have to know how long you want your skirt to be. So I'm going to start by folding the paper into two, and that means that whatever it is that you'll be drafting it on fold, and that fold is only going to be a quarter of your full measurement, if that makes sense. So it means the measurements that you're going to be putting on the folded part is your waist measurements divided by 4 and your hip measurement divided by 4. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw and or mark the waistline. So I'm doing that now. Next, I'm going to draw the hip line. So I'll be going down from the waistline by 8 inches and marking the hip line. I'm also going to go down another 8 inches below the hip line, and you see why in a minute. So now to put on your measurements, just divide your waist and your hip circumference measurements by 4. For me, my waist measurement is 28 inches, so divided by 4, that's 7 inches. And my hip measurement is 38 inches, divided by 4, that's 9.5 inches. So that's what I'm doing. I'm inserting my waist measurement and hip measurements on the hip line and the waistline. So 7 inches and 9.5 inches. So then I'm going to use the pattern master or curved ruler to connect the waistline to the hip line, and then I'm just going to draw the line down to the hemline. So I'm taking the hemline in a little just to get a more pencil skirt effect. Next, I'm cutting out my skirt pattern, and then I'm going to use this pattern to cut out 2 pieces of the lining fabric. You should note that the lining fabric of the skirt, as expected, would be shorter than the actual skirt. So that's why this is shorter than the pattern. So just now, you can go ahead and sew the skirts of the lining together. Okay, so the bottom of this dress is what I kind of want my skirt to look like. So there's going to be a slant across the skirt, both front and back. So that means we're going to have to do this on the pattern paper. So on the pattern paper, I'm just unfolding and drawing all the lines across the full skirt so that I can connect the hip line to the line that I drew below it in a slanted line. So after the line has been drawn, you can go ahead and separate both your top and bottom pattern pieces and then use them to cut out the upper part and the bottom parts of the skirt on your main fabric. Just make sure that you don't forget to add seam allowance as you're cutting. So after we've cut out our fabric, Now the next step is to join the upper and the bottom pieces of together of both the front side and the back sides. So we're going to be joining both pieces, front sides facing each other, and then I'm just going to pin them together and go ahead and sew. So after sewing the upper and bottom pieces together, the next step is to join the sewn front and back pieces together. I feel like this is a lot, but it was worth it. Okay, so now that the main skirt is done, the next thing is to attach the main skirt to the lining piece. And we'll do that by first putting the main skirt into the lining and aligning them at the waist, making sure that the right sides are facing each other. Then you're going to cut out your waistband, and the waistband that you're cutting out should be 1 inch smaller than your actual waist measurement. So for example, my waist measurement is 28 inches and my elastic, which means my elastic is going to be 27 inches long, right? And then you're just going to overlap the elastic about half an inch and then sew. The next step is to take your elastic band and line it up with the skirt waist in all the 4 equal corners. Make sure that they all match so that your elastic will stretch equally across the skirt. Then sew them all together at the edge in a zigzag stitch. Remember, just like don't forget to stretch as you sew. After doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and hem the bottom of the skirt using an embroidery stitch in lettuce form. This means I'm basically just stretching out the fabric as I sew so that I can get the wavy effect. So yeah, guys, I think we're at this point I was done, but after I finished, I did notice that the top and the skirt were a little loose. So I had to make adjustments by after putting the outfit on my duty. So I just added darts to the bottom of the top, and then I took the skirt in by 1 inch on both sides, and after that it was good to go. And that was it. That is it, you guys. Honestly, I didn't think this would turn out the way it did, but I was a little surprised because this fabric itself was really cheap. But I really love the results, and I hope you guys found this video easy to follow. I know it's a little longer than what I usually post, so let me know in the comment section what you think. So don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.